Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Aisha. I'm a certified trauma-informed coach, and I am on a mission to help 1 million women become their most confident and successful selves with the use of law of assumption. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that button and tap the bell icon to be notified so you never miss out on powerful tips, inspiring stories, and essential guidance so that you too can create the life of your dreams. Today, I'm going to be talking about the who is she mindset, the who is she mentality, the reason I started this brand and decided to label myself as a confidence and success coach. So the reason I chose confidence and success specifically is confidence and success are manifestations in themselves. So to be confident, you do things confidently and then you exude confidence. To be successful, you have to do things successfully, and that creates this achievement that we label as success. And the reason I chose an end result like confidence and success is oftentimes we are critical of ourselves and we label ourselves with things like, fearful and traumatized and unhealed and wounded, and we victimize ourselves. And these two words, these two concepts of being confident and being successful are the solution to both. They are the opposite, the opposing energies to all of that negative self-talk, all of that low self-image type of mentality. And primarily, I am a transformational coach. So when you come to my channel, when you consume my content, I use storytelling, real world examples from my life and the lives of my clients, as well as researched topics to give you insights on what's going on internally, what is going on in your head, what role do your emotions play? Where is this nature versus nurture debate going on inside of you? Do you have stories that are holding you back? Do you feel as though you're trapped and stuck in life? I find a lot of my clientele come to me saying, I've tried this and I've tried that and I'm doing the methods and I did the affirmations and I got some movement and I got some results, but, and there's always a but I'm not there yet, but I don't have it yet, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I tried this and it's not working anymore, or it didn't work, or, whatever the case is. And truly, to be someone who is confident and successful, you have to at least be trying something. The most confident and successful people that I know are people who have failed a lot. They are people who have tried many things and ran into walls and fell flat on their face and maybe felt humiliated or, shameful at some points because they were judging themselves harshly. So there is a role of that self-judgment. It is meant to encourage you to keep going, encourage you to continue being ambitious and pursuing the things that you desire. However, it can turn toxic sometimes when you're too hard on yourself, you're too judgmental, you're too hypercritical of yourself, and you're not allowing yourself to expand and even try things anymore. So the purpose of this video was not just to advertise my coaching services, to talk about my coaching brand, but really to help you conceptualize why confidence and success are the keys to living a happy and fulfilled life, to creating the dream reality that you desire to create. And it is because when you desire to be confident, when you desire to be successful, you are going to go through a process of trial and error. And I know many of you coming to my channel, you're not brand new to manifestation. Maybe some of you are sort of new to it. Maybe you've been trying it for a year or so. Maybe you switched over from law of attraction to law of assumption, and you just like that there is a mouthpiece who relates to you and understands you in a different way. As many of us do choose our, content creators and the people we like to subscribe and follow due to our own position. And that's wonderful. No matter what brought you here, I'm appreciative of the fact that you're here, but I want to make sure that if you are consuming my content, you're doing something with it. I'm not here to waste my breath to talk all day about these nifty things, and this isn't meant to be a one-sided discussion where, oh yeah, we talk about how cool manifestation is and then we don't do anything about it. I will never be the coach to give you empty advice, and I will always be honest if I've changed my beliefs and views since, the start of my channel, and some of you may have already observed how I feel about timing and things like that have changed a little bit. And I, as a person, am doing my own evolution. I, as a coach, have my own coach who I seek guidance and advice from to better myself, to better my own manifestation success, and to help me to become more confident. So, when I deliver content to you, it is so vital, it is so important that you practice it, that you implement it, that you take what I say and you don't just go, that sounds like a good idea, or wow, that's really cool, and then do nothing with it. If I give you a type of technique or method in one of my examples, I want you to use it. And even Neville Goddard, which is, like one of the biggest manifestation mouthpieces, especially Law of Assumption, he made his clients, his audience, do the work. He made them do the inner work. He would, at the end of every lecture, tell them to go into the silence, which means like in the silence, in meditation, in this moment of time, we're all going to be quiet. We're all going to think about the lessons that were taught, and we're going to implement them. So if he taught them the affirmations, or he taught them a visualization story, he gave them an example such as inner conversations. He wants you to do that. And I want the same for you. If I am telling you, this is what worked for me, this is what I tried, at the end of every video, if you truly take that piece of advice and digest it, and when I say digest it, I mean really understand, what did I just hear? What did I just learn? Have I tried this before? And if I tried it before, did it work for me? And if it didn't work for me, why didn't it work for me? And if I haven't tried this before, let me try it right now, in this now moment. Don't just put me in your earbud and go about your day and not practice any of this, but actually take a breath, take a moment, sit down. We all have 5 minutes to do this, even if that 5 minutes has to be in the bathroom because you're a very busy person. I get it. Take the time. Cut out 5 to 10 minutes of your day and say, I am dedicating this 5 to 10 minutes to practicing this technique, to living in the end, to embodying this feeling. And in order to embody confidence and success, confidence comes from trial and error. Confidence, like for example, in school, I had really great grades. Because I pushed for it, and there were certain subjects I already knew were going to be harder and I knew were going to be easier. Why is that? Because in math, for example, or English, I had a high degree of confidence. That confidence came from turning in assignments and getting positive feedback that, oh, I actually am good at this. So every time I took a math quiz or turned in my math homework, it was almost always 100%. Sometimes even 100% plus, depending on how the teacher graded it. Whenever I turned in an English assignment, when I turned in my rough drafts, I would see the teacher's notes in the margins and I would make those corrections. And because I believed that making those corrections were an improvement to my writing and going through the rough draft and revising my writing, I had this degree of confidence that when I turn in the final draft, I'm gonna get a great grade on that. And throughout the years, I was conditioned to believe that I am good at those subjects, and it created a sense of confidence in me. That confidence didn't come out of nowhere. So as a coach, what I ask of you is to borrow my confidence. And you don't even have to hire me for paid services. You can borrow my confidence in these videos because obviously I'm putting these videos out. I am putting out my podcast episodes because I have faith in you. Because I was once this girl who was unconsciously living, who was self-sabotaging, who was like living out my childhood wounds over and over and over again like Groundhog Day. And at some point in my life, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I cannot live this way anymore. I didn't have the confidence, and I definitely didn't label myself as successful in a lot of areas. I'm not gonna say I was a complete failure or I was totally lacking confidence and self-esteem, but the areas I struggled with, I was exhausted, I was burnt out, and I said something needs to change. And through making that change, I built my confidence and I created success for myself. There's no way that you can get to where you're going without doing something about it, without trying something. And I don't mean that you have to slave away at a job. I don't mean that you have to like double, triple text, sending long paragraphs to your specific person. I don't mean that you have to try and manipulate and manage this 3D world. I mean that manifestation is a tool in your toolbox that is meant to be used to leverage, to create momentum in your life that allows you to step into more opportunities that give you permission to create confidence within yourself, that give you permission to feel successful. And for some of you, it can happen very quickly. And for some of you, it's going to take some time. But if you don't start, if you don't try something, if you don't do these confidence building activities, you will never be successful. And my definition of success is someone who is confident in themselves, which is why those two go hand in hand. That is why that is the center of my business. That's why when we ask the question, who is she? We're asking, who is the most confident and successful version of her? And who is she is who are you, you know? Who is the most confident and successful version of you? What does she wear? How does she speak? Who does she surround herself with? How does she spend her time? How do people feel about her? How does she feel about herself? How does she speak to herself? What are her inner conversations like? What kind of music does she listen to? Does she express herself through art? Is there a particular sport or exercise, physical activity that she really enjoys? How does she take care of her body? How do people know that she's confident in herself? How does she measure her own success? And is she reliant on the voices of other people to give her that, or has she figured out how to give that to herself? It's okay if you're in the beginning of your confidence journey and you need to borrow my confidence as a coach. If watching these videos and other content creators' videos helps you to feel good and helps you to feel like you're moving in the right direction, by all means, do so. But don't get stuck in the trap of listening without doing. You can hear all of the advice, you can know all of the techniques and principles of law of assumption and still not manifest what you desire because you're not actually doing anything differently. You're living in the same cycles, you are acting out of the same unhealed, the same wounding, and you're not really making profound change within yourself. And if you don't change from within, nothing outside of you is going to change. This world around us is a reflection of how we see ourselves. Every time you say yes to something, you say, this is what I believe I deserve. And every time you say no to something, this represents to you, I deserve better than this, or I don't deserve this. And the more you can interpret your answers, the more you can focus on, why am I deciding to do this? Why am I agreeing to this? Why am I disagreeing to this? Where in my body do I feel tightness and discomfort when trying new things? And am I able to overcome that? Where am I being too harsh on myself? Am I being hypercritical of everything that I do, or am I praising myself constantly and cheering myself on and reminding myself that I'm doing the very best that I can and letting that be enough? And at some point, you will get to a point where it's no longer enough and you're ready for the next big thing. Are you challenging yourself to step outside of your comfort zone? Are you truly exercising the fullest extent of your confidence? Are you only confident in love but not money, or confident in money but not love? And if so, where's that discrepancy? What stories and narratives are you holding on to? What beliefs are laying dormant, just operating on autopilot as you move through life? Questions like these are designed to get to the root of what's going on. And the reason we want to get to the root is if we do all of this surface level work like affirmations and visualization, but deep down, we're rejecting that ideal. We're rejecting the new story. We are rejecting that desire. We cannot live in both worlds at once. That's called being double-minded. That causes us to go back and forth and oscillate between these two versions of reality. It causes us to feel extremely confident in ourselves one day, and then deep down, that lingering feeling of, oh, but this, oh, but that, oh, but I'm not good enough, oh, but am I worthy of this? Deep down will sabotage that confidence and lead to behaviors that go on to sabotage your success. And this is one of those times I'm gonna say, ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. I have gone through the motions several times in my life of learning the lessons the hard way, trying to find a quick fix for this discomfort and pain instead of facing it. And a lot of people come to manifestation from a traumatized place. You are coming here because something in your life happened that made you feel unworthy, unlovable, not good enough, made you judge yourself really harshly, or you've made mistakes in your life that you are carrying shame, surrounding yourself with shame due to how you're choosing to see yourself. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be heavy. Life doesn't have to be so difficult. Oftentimes we make life way more hard on ourselves than it needs to be. And really the only way to navigate that difficulty, and the only way to truly be a confident person and not just fake it till you make it, or be it until you become it, as we like to say, to truly embody and live as your confident self, you have to face those parts of yourself that feel weak. You have to face those parts of yourself that feel inferior and unworthy. And it's not about fighting them. It's not about shoving them down, suppressing them, trying to ignore them, trying to avoid them and run away at all costs. It's about saying, okay, I see you, I hear you, and I'm here for you. I see that you feel that way, and I hear that it's not fun to feel that way. I hear that something you went through was painful or difficult, and I'm here for you. Reparenting those younger versions of yourself is one of the most accessible ways to heal trauma, and really healing trauma is just telling a new story. It's rejecting the old story. It's saying, okay, that's her story. That's 9-year-old me's story. That's 12-year-old me's story. That's 18-year-old me's story. But I, today, don't have to have that story. I don't have to talk about myself that way. And I don't have to believe that in order to be who I am. I can choose to let that be a story I used to hold. I can choose to honor those versions of myself. And I can choose to sort of have a funeral for them, to mourn what could have been, to grieve over the life that I could have had if I didn't have that experience, and then lay her to rest. Allow her to serve a different purpose within me. And instead of her being this reason for fear and insecurity and doubt, I can use her as fuel to be a better person, to be more confident, to be stronger. Because at least if she couldn't protect herself in those moments, I can protect that version of her now. Because I'm stronger and I am older and I am more capable. And using this perspective, allowing yourself to integrate these parts, to hold space for different versions of you instead of trying to suppress them, is what really creates confidence. I know what my flaws are. I know what my weaknesses are, and I'm confident anyway. I know where I struggle and where I need to work on to improve, and I'm confident anyway. I know there are things that are very easy for me to achieve, and there are some things that I still, for some reason, cannot wrap my head around, and I'm still a confident person. This is something that takes practice. This is a lifestyle change that needs to be made. And to wrap this video, my final piece of advice is to create a manifestation echo chamber. A manifestation echo chamber, an echo chamber for starters, is when you consume content and surround yourself with people who affirm and confirm what you already believe. We know this to be true about people who are on the right wing of the political party here in America, who tend to watch certain news channels and they tend to support certain candidates and they tend to live a certain lifestyle. And we know the same to be true for the blue side of the aisle, where they watch certain news channels and they support certain politicians and beliefs and all of that, and we can see that each party creates their own echo chamber. This is a very real world example of such a thing. Obviously, I'm very apolitical, so I'm like, yeah, have fun with that. I'll stay in my manifestation realm here. But essentially, the music you listen to, the television you watch, the content creators you follow on YouTube, and the influencers you consume from on Instagram are all part of your echo chamber, as well as the people in your inner circle, your friends, your family, and your coworkers that you speak to and connect with on a daily basis. If you find yourself surrounded by people who are lacking confidence, or they're not allowing you to grow your confidence, those may not be the best people to surround yourself with at this time. I'm at the point in my journey where I can consume content and be around multiple different people, and it doesn't shake my reality, but that's because I created this bubble for myself. All of the YouTubers, all of the music, all of the content that I've consumed over the past several years has been geared towards self-improvement, positivity and optimism, a healthy mindset, total wellness, holistic health, and manifestation, truly, which has given me this environment that cultivated a sense of confidence. Again, I borrowed the confidence of these people. I borrowed the intellect of these people until I was able to adopt and integrate it within myself to be this version of myself. So your homework today is to assess your consumption. Look at the people that you follow and ask, is this conducive to the person I want to be, or is it not? If you're following a bunch of foodie channels where people are binging food and they're just eating all of this takeout and it looks so good, but you're trying to be a healthy person and eat whole foods and feel better about the foods that you eat, maybe those aren't the right influencers to follow. And conversely, if you're following so many health influencers, but all it's doing is creating a toxic sense of shame within you of, oh, I wish I looked like that, or wow, I'll never be that healthy, then maybe it's time to stop consuming that type of content, at least for a little bit, until you can get to a place where you feel good about yourself, and then you're ready to reintegrate content like that. By choosing what we consume and absorb in the world around us and essentially creating this energetic bubble that is a safe space for us, we are able to build our confidence. I know I'm speaking to a broad audience, so maybe not all of you had a safe space at home, but in a perfect world, our parents are the first people to build our confidence. They see the magic in us, they see the beauty in us, they see how capable we are, and they feed it. And through this process, this echo chamber of love, we build our own self-esteem. We borrow our parents' confidence until we feel confident within ourselves because we have tried enough things. We have lived enough life. We have experimented enough with study and play that we have adopted our own beliefs that affirm our confidence in ourselves. If you were not fortunate enough to come from a family of origin that was healthy for you, you can still create this echo chamber as an adult by keeping friends and family close who love you, who see the best in you, who feed the light in you. People who really want you to be successful and confident, people who want to see you smile and be happy and only serve to build you up. This doesn't mean that they won't have criticism of you from time to time, and they will still be a good reflection of your self-concept. But the more you can surround yourself with people who make you feel good about yourself, who truly want to see you improve, and who support your dreams and your vision for yourself, the easier it is to be confident and to manifest success in your life. I really appreciate each and every one of you for tuning into this video. My brand and all of the thought that I put into it is really reflective of my personal journey and the lessons that I've had to learn in this life, and I truly intend that everything I impart on you is helpful in some way. It wakes you up in some way. It points you in the right direction. It increases your confidence. It helps you to get a better understanding of yourself, to direct your attention to seek insights elsewhere and continue on your journey in this life to grow into the most confident and successful version of yourself. If you are still struggling with manifestation, if you feel stuck, if you feel unmotivated, if you feel discouraged or confused about the manifestation process, I do have a 13-day challenge going. I will pin in the comment down below. It is called the Cherry Blossom Challenge because it is cherry blossom season here in the PNW. And I have a word for every letter in the acronym Cherry Blossom that correlates with a 10-minute exercise we will be doing as the challenge progresses, so that you can make manifestation part of your lifestyle, so that manifestation stops feeling hard and it starts to feel so easy and natural to you. And so you can flow into your new life, into your desired reality with ease and confidence. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here today, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.